Hello YouTube, this is MTG Geezers, and we are bringing you the final episode of our single coloured review for the Fate Reforged complete set. And we are going to jump straight into it now with the green cards, starting off with Abzan Beastmaster. So Abzan Beastmaster, for 3 mana, you're getting a 2-1. With at the beginning of your upkeep, you can draw a card if you control the creature with the greatest toughness, or tied for the greatest toughness. I really like this card. I think it might even actually see play in Standard, and definitely at pre-releases. Because if you don't have the creature with the greatest toughness, well, don't worry about it. And if you do, you're getting an extra card every single turn for the remainder of that game while you control the greatest toughness creature. It's a really solid card, and I really like it. Next is Abzan Kinguard, which is 4 mana for a 3-3, and it has lifelink if you control a white or black permanent. Again, this is a really solid creature, might even see play in Standard again. Definitely play these in your pre-release if you are playing Abzan colours, or even if you're playing colours with both green and black or green and white, because even just the possibility of it having lifelink is good enough for me to want to play it. Next is Anok Guide, which is 2 for a 1-1, and when it enters the battlefield, you can either make it a 2-2, which is perfectly decent, a 2-2 for 2, or you can search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and shuffle your library and put the land on top of your library. So it's great for a bit of mana fixing if you're thinking of going into 3 colours or maybe 4 or 5 colours even. A lot of people do 5 colours at the Khans pre-releases. And otherwise it's just a solid 2-2 for 2, which is actually pretty good in sealed formats. Next we have Ambush Critic, or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it, really sorry. But it's 6 for a 5-5 Trampler, and when it enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. A perfectly decent card in sealed. Definitely play these in your pre-release. They are a common, so you'll probably open a fair few of them. And it's a 5-5 Trampler for 6 mana, so it's pretty damn good. Next we have Arishan Warbeast. So this guy, he really is a beast. He's 6-6 for 7, and when he deals combat damage to one or more blocking creatures, you manifest the top card of your library. So the ideal thing you want them to do is double block this dude, because then you get to manifest. Oh no, sorry, you still get to manifest once. But either way, every time he deals combat damage to a creature, you get to manifest it off your library, giving you potential card advantage if it's a creature, and if not, it's giving you 2/2s and getting land and stuff out of the way. So a really solid card. Next we have Archers of Kwasai, which is 4 mana, 3 generic and 1 green, 4 mana, for a 5-2 defender with reach. Perfectly decent, can take down dragons in the format, because the dragons are 4/4s, most of them. Really solid, got reach, nice little defender, definitely play him. Next we have Battlefront Krushok, which is 5 mana for a 3-4, and it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. And each creature you control with a 1-1 counter on it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. This is an alright card. 5 mana for a 3-4 isn't great, but it's playable in sealed format. And the fact that it can't be blocked by more than 1 could be relevant against token strategies, but I don't know how many of them you'll be seeing at your pre-release. It's definitely something to consider when you're building your sealed deck. Won't be seeing much play in Standard though. Cast Defenses is 3 for sorcery speed, bolster 3. I would play this if it was an instant speed, because then it'd be a nice little combat trick, you know, 3/1/1s on your dude. But at sorcery speed, I just don't really think it's good enough. I definitely don't think it should be an uncommon. It's up to you whether you play one of these guys, but personally I'm just saying I wouldn't. Destruct Dragon is 6 for a 4/4 flying. This is the green dragon, and whenever it dies, destroy target non-creature permanent. Really solid card, really liking this. If you are playing green, play as many of these as you open. They're absolutely amazing, and the same can be said about all the dragons. They're 4/4 flyers for 6, so in sealed that is just bonkers. Feral Krushok is 5 mana for a 5/4 vanilla text. 5 mana for a 5/4 is actually pretty good in sealed, so if you need to, you can just fill your deck out with a few of these to finish off your curve. Really sweet. Formless Nurturing is 4 for sorcery speed, manifest top card of your library and put a 1/1 counter on it. I like this card, but I'm not sure how great it's going to be. You're getting a 3/3 for 4 at least, and if it's a creature you can turn it face up or whatever, but if it's not a creature, I'm not too sure. Frontier Mastodon is 3 for a 3/2 with Ferocious, and it enters battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it if you control a creature power 4 or greater. Now this is a really good creature. It's a 3/2 for 3, which would be good enough to play in sealed by itself, but there's the potential that it is a 4/3 for 3, which makes it pretty damn good. I really like this card, and definitely consider playing it. Next is Frontier Siege, which is 4 mana for an enchantment. When it enters, you choose Counter Dragons, At the beginning of each of your main phases, add 2 to your mana pool if you chose Khans. And whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you can have it fight target creature you don't control if you choose dragons. I do like all of the sieges, however I do have to say, as keen as I am on green so far through this set, this is my least favourite siege. The others just seem a little bit more overpowered than this one, but nevertheless it is still a very good card, very playable card. Fruit of the First Tree is 4 mana for an enchant creature. When it dies, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is its toughness. I love this card so much. Definitely play this in your sealed deck. Probably even playable in standard. If you have a big bodied defender that you can get out early, or pretty much anything, it means your opponent won't want to kill it. And if they do kill it, you get to draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life, putting you back in the game pretty nicely. So it's a really, really sweet card. Next is Hunt the Weak, a card that I'm sure you're all familiar with, older players. However, newer players, it's a put a 1/1 counter on type creature control, and then it fights a type creature you don't control. A really, really great piece of removal for green. Also pumping up your creatures, making them a little bit stronger. Really like it. Next is Map the Waste. 3 mana, search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tap. Shuffle your library and bolster 1. This is actually a really, really sweet card. It gets you a land, therefore thinning your deck from excess lands and mana ramping. Plus, you get to put 1/1 creature counters on your weakest creatures. It's really, really solid. And for just 3 mana, I am definitely going to be playing these at my pre-release. Return to the Earth is 4 mana for an instant speed. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. This is a versatile card if I have ever seen one, and I definitely want to play this at my pre-release. Being able to destroy an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying is just so good, and you'd be crazy not to at least consider playing these. Ruthless Instincts is 3 mana for an instant speed. Choose one. Target non-attacking creatures... Oh, sorry about this pop-up. Target non-attacking creatures gain Reach and Death Touch until end of turn, and untap it. And target attacking creatures get +2/+2 and gain Trample. So I really like this card. Again, it's really, really versatile. It can be used both offensively and defensively. So I think it's definitely playable, possibly even in standard. It's a really, really good card, and I'll be happy to open a few of those. Sandsteep Mastodon, 7 mana for a 5/5 with Reach, and when it enters battlefield, bolster 5. I want to open a few of these. I'm just saying that right now. I want to open a few of these. Because a 5/5 with Reach for 7 is good enough in sealed. Let alone being able to bolster 5. It's absolutely insane. This could be a 10/10 with Reach for 7 mana, guys, and that's pretty crazy. Next is Shamik Revelation. 5 mana, draw a card for each creature you control. And Ferocious, you gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Really, really sweet card if you're playing a token strategy. However, I don't think token's going to be that big in green. Maybe for going into Abzan or something like that. But I'll speak more about strategies later for your pre-release. Sudden Reclamation is 4 mana, instant speed. Put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard, and then return a creature card and a land card from your graveyard into your hand. I don't know what to think about this card. It's really, really good because obviously you can return stuff from your yard to your hand, thin down your deck a bit and stuff like that. But 4 mana, it might just be me, it seems a bit expensive. Definitely play them, but I don't know. Temur Runemark, 3 mana, enchant creature gets +2/+2, and it has Trample as long as you control a blue or red permanent. Like I said, all of these cards that give +2/+2 and have if you control a they're all pretty good. +2/+2 is alright for 3 mana, and then the possible additional abilities alright. Consider playing them, possibly 2 of them or something like that. Team at Sabertooth is 4 mana for a 4/3, and you can pay 2 and return another creature you control to its owner's hand, and if you do, it gains Indestructible. Really, really solid card and sealed. They basically can't deal with it, because any removal spell they point at it, well, you can just go return another one of your dudes, pay 2, oh, he's Indestructible. Really, really sweet card, definitely like him. Temur War Shaman is 6 mana for a 4/5. When it enters battlefield, you manifest the top card of your library. And whenever a permanent is turned face up, if it's a creature, you may have it fight type creature you don't control. This works well with Morph and obviously Manifest, and it's a really, really sweet card. A 4/5 for 6 is good enough by itself, and then these abilities just make it that little bit better, because you get out that bonus 2/2, and you can start fighting stuff, which is what green loves to do. Warden of the First Tree. Let me just say this, if you open one of these in your sealed pool, and you do not play it for whatever reason, I think you're a little bit crazy. Because this card will win the pre-release. If you open this, I'll be surprised if you lose your pre-release, because this is just so insane. 1 mana for a 1/1, pay 2, oh, it becomes a 3/3, pay 4, oh, suddenly it's got trample and lifelink. Pay another 6 whenever you want. Put 5/1/1 counters on it. If you manage to make this indestructible in any way, shape, or form at all, oh my gosh, you're gonna win. Like, it's such a good card. All you've got to do is try and keep it alive. Like, it's so insane. Definitely be played in standard as well. Whisperer of the Wild is 2 mana for a 0/2. Tap, add 1 to your mana pool. And Ferocious, tap, add 2 to your mana pool if you control a creature power 4 or greater. Some great mana ramp. I really like this card, and I love the fact that it's common, so I'll probably be playing a few of these in my pre-release. Whisperwood Elemental is 5 mana for a 4/4, and at the beginning of your end step, manifest the top card of your library, and sacrifice Whisperwood Elemental until end of turn. Face up non-token creatures you control. Gain when it dies, manifest the top card of your library. This is a really sweet finisher for green, and it's going to go into long game. I can see this being played more in Abzan, because Abzan do a kind of long game outlast strategy. However, it is a really sweet card, and if you open the one, definitely play it. Wild Call is manifest the top card of your library and put X/1/1s on it. I really like this card because you can either just manifest the top card of your library for 2 early game if you need to, or you can wait late game and manifest the top card of your library for like 12 after a massive stall and get a massive 12/12 out and then do all sorts of crazy things with it. So it's a really sweet card. I'm definitely like that. And our final 2 cards are Winds of Qualsima, or Winds of Qualsima. I don't know how you say that. 2 instant speed, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. And with Ferocious, instead prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by creatures your opponents control this turn. Really good card in Sealed, surprisingly. They can go and swing at you for lethal, and you're like, oh, I live another turn. Or you can go and swing at them for lethal, and then they block and a load of your dudes would die, but because you control a creature power 4 or greater, only their dudes are going to die because all of yours don't take any damage. Yasova Dragonclaw is the last card in green, 3 mana for a 4/2 with trample, and at the beginning of your upkeep you may pay 3 mana and gain control of one of their creatures and then attack them with it. This is a really fun card. I really hope I open one of these because I love killing people with their own creatures. That's like why I play Control with Ashiok at the moment. It's just such a great card and I love it. So I'm really looking forward to my pre-release, guys. We've only got one more video to upload, which will be our multicolored land and artifact complete set review for Fate Reforged, and then we're going to go over how to win your pre-release. Yeah, that's the video, how to win. So make sure you watch that. And last time we gave you the tip on how to win to play Abzan, and guess what? We all played Abzan and we came first, second, and third at our pre-release. So deal with that. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, crush the subscribe button real quick now. Thank you and goodbye.